everyone, and welcome back to a new edition of Sippin with Steven. And what a treat do I have for you today. It isn't very often that I have a national brand ambassador come on and be part of the show, but that happens today. To my right is Caryn Wells, the national brand ambassador for Green River Distillery. Caryn, welcome to Sippin with Steven.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I'm so glad that you are here. And we are going to talk about this lovely hidden treasure of a distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky, that is a little bit outside of the triangle of the Bourbon Trail that goes from Bardstown to Louisville up to northern Kentucky. And why don't we start by, we're going to get to these 5 lovely expressions, but why don't we start by having you tell folks why it is such a good reason to come to Owensboro first, but when they're in Owensboro enjoying barbecue and bluegrass music, why they need to stop at the Green River Distillery.
Yeah, you know, we consider ourselves a Western gateway to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. We're on the heritage side of it,
Gotcha.
and we're very proud to have that, you know, to be on that side of the trail.
Sure.
Owensboro used to be the mecca for distilleries back in the day, pre-Prohibition.
Okay.
And so to be able to revive Green River and bring it back to its glory days,
Yep.
and have it back out and have phenomenal products, I always tell people, come see us, because you get to walk back into time. You know,
Sure.
our buildings are from the 40s and the 50s. You know, you go in the rick house, you're going to see cobwebs. The rick houses are made,
That's awesome.
the ones on site are made out of clay tile,
Okay.
which is very unusual. And so you really get the sense, you smell it, you breathe it, you take it all in, and
Kind of feel it, right?
You do. You really feel the history of bourbon making, you know, when you come to the distillery.
Well, I will tell you this, as the folks know, I'm the group sales manager here at the Fraser, and what people want from the tourism side of it is an experience.
Yeah.
It goes without saying that everybody expects all the product that comes from a distillery to
Right.
be technically sound, but what they want is to learn the history of that distillery, how it fits into the whole history of bourbon, whether it be back to Prohibition or World War II or whatever it may be.
Right.
And then what makes your place special. So I have found out through our brief conversation that you were a former tour guide
I was.
at this distillery before you became national brand ambassador. So tell me, when you were running tours, or with the people who do it now, is that history embraced by the people that are coming through?
It is. You know, I think what makes our brand unique is that we actually can pinpoint it back to 1885. We actually have artifacts from that time.
Yeah.
We have John McCulloch, who started the brand. We have his uniform that he used to wear. We have his desk.
Oh, wow.
We have actual pictures of the cabinet for Green River Distilling Company from July 4th of 1903. And these are things that, you know, you have to experience it.
Sure.
To walk in and see it and see the black and white and to look at everything. I think that is what makes it important. And our tour guides are great.
Right.
They impress upon everybody the importance of not losing that history.
Sure.
And you know, for Owensboro, having the distillery back in operation again, it's what Kentucky was built on.
Yeah.
And you know, we support farmers. We buy
Sure.
our corn from the farmers.
Right.
We're getting rid of our stillage through our farmers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not just about the making of whiskey. It's about the history and the connections that are made within that whole community.
It's a whole process.
It is a whole
and
process.
not just at Green River, but in the industry.
Yeah.
Getting inputs from farmers, giving silage back for their livestock, and it's a whole Hakuna Matata. It's
Yeah.
a circle of life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I really, really like, and as I look at this, we see 5 fantastic expressions, Caryn. And if you would be so kind as to let the folks know, because you can, well, before we do that, let me say, Green River is a partner distillery of Bardstown Bourbon Company.
That is correct.
One of the absolute great members of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, along with Green River, and you were telling me earlier that you sell each other's products
Sure.
at your retail places and tell that story. That is great for people here in Louisville, because Bardstown Bourbon within the last year opened up a
Our downtown,
tasting room
yep.
across the street. So that is great. Now let's look at these 5 bottles and say someone they walk into a store and they see these 5 and maybe they're not familiar with Green River or what it is. What exactly do you all have to offer to the folks?
Yeah, we have 4 core products that are out on the market right now. We have our wheated bourbon. That is 70% corn, 21% soft red winter wheat, 9% malted barley, and it comes in at 90 proof. It's a 5-year-old profile on that.
Great.
We have our high rye bourbon. This was our flagship. This is what we came out with first. That is 70% corn, 21% rye grain, 9% malted barley.
Very
so
good.
Literally mirror images.
Sure.
That too is at 90 proof.
Okay.
And then we have our rye whiskey. That just came out this year, and that is a 95% rye, 5% malted barley, coming in at 95 proof.
Before we go to these last 2, let me do a shameless plug for you guys. Your wheated bourbon is for sale in the Fraser gift shop, and it does very well.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say about that. So come on in and try it out.
Yeah.
Now, tell the folks about these last 2 very interesting products.
Sure. So let me back up real quick
Sure.
on these 3. These 3 core products that you can find out in the market, they're everyday priced under $40. So for any one of those 3. So I think that's important for
A great everyday sipper.
a great everyday sipper at a great price and a quality product, and your drinking history, you know. The other 2 that we have over here, we have our foolproof. This guy just came out in June. That is 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley, and this came out at 117.3. So it is our flagship product, but at a higher proof.
In my wheelhouse there. So
Yeah,
I got you.
Well, you know, we have your palate is going to grow and you know
change.
change,
Yeah, sure.
and
Develop.
so 90 proof is great when you're starting or just a nice sipper. Our full proof is really good. I love it. And then the last one that we have over here, that is going to be a single barrel. We did start a single barrel program last year, and we expanded it this year. It is not an everyday product on the shelf. However, you will find it in all the different markets. And for us and for people coming to the distillery, we always keep a single barrel in the gift shop.
Great.
So you can come in at whatever point, and it's one that our head distiller, our single barrel coordinator, and a lot of times myself, if I'm there, we will taste through them and pick the barrels that are going to be sold in the gift shop.
So another reason to go, not just buy the product, but to go to the distillery, because you have the opportunity to buy a product that's going to be sold there, and then maybe at other retailers, but you know it's always going to be there.
Right, exactly. You know, from a single barrel program, a lot of times retailers will get them, but then they sell out really quick.
Sure.
And our single barrels, they retail for right around $60 a bottle. So they sell out pretty fast.
So very affordable.
It is, but it's important for us, for people that are coming to the distillery, we want to make sure that they have that opportunity to buy something unique that they may not be able to get, you know, at their home, in their hometown.
Well, a little bit of a spoiler, that when you and I were chatting this morning, deciding what we're going to do, you just said you would like to go review one of your products, and I said that's great, and that's the one we're going to taste and kind of critique a little bit, correct?
We're going to taste the foolproof. Yeah, we're going to.
So that is fantastic. I love to do that, and we will. One other question: are there multiple experiences if you go down to the distillery, as far as what people can experience?
That's a great question. We do tours 6 days a week. We do them Monday through Saturday. And what you have available to you is you have a standard tour that includes a tasting. We have what we call a sit and sip, which is for people who maybe they don't want to walk around the distillery, maybe they're not capable, you know. And because you do have to climb stairs, you know, during our tours. So we have a sit and sip where you get all the history, but then you just get to sit and sip on the products.
That sounds spectacular.
We have cocktail classes. If you want to learn how to make a cocktail, you get to make 2 different cocktails with our products, and take those recipes home with you so that you can then go back home and recreate those.
And people love that. Anything, whether it's knowledge or the experience of making a cocktail, anything that they can take home, share with their bourbon folks, and whether it be at a party or a mix and match or just to show off or whatever.
Well,
that's part of the experience.
It is part of the experience, and it's important. You know, I always tell people, taste your bourbon neat so that you start to understand it, but gosh darn, you enjoy it however you want to enjoy it.
There's no wrong way to drink bourbon.
There is no wrong way to do it. And if you want to mix it, mix it.
Exactly.
We don't care.
Exactly right.
And we also have a barrel thieving tour. And so that is for those people who want to taste it straight out of the barrel. All of the tours or experiences that you have the opportunity to do, they're all fantastic.
Well, let me just say this. When it comes to that experience, I have not done it at Green River, but I have done barrel thieving before. It is a very unique experience.
Yes.
It is so cool. And if somebody thinks they would like a higher proof bourbon and a very unique experience, I cannot endorse that particular process enough.
Yeah.
Anything else before we taste this fantastic product and go over that you would like to let the viewers know about Green River and why they should come see you and your fine colleagues down in Owensboro?
You know, I think in this day and age when we have a lot of different brands that are coming out, and they're fantastic brands, I think for us what's important for us to express upon people who come to the distillery is the history, the American history that is there at the distillery that you walk back into. And we're creating quality products that people can enjoy and not fret over the cost of it.
Sure.
You know, and that is our goal.
Available and affordable.
Available and affordable, and yet you're sipping on history.
Well, you know, and I'll kind of wrap up with this. I think a lot of people, when they first get into bourbon, it's about the thrill, the chase for
Sure.
finding your unicorn bottles or whatever. But once you kind of have defined what your palate is,
Yeah.
and then it becomes the chase is more about affordable and available. What can I find that I know is going to be there that's at a good price, a quality product? And that sounds like, I'm going to find out firsthand in just a second, that all your products fit right into that description.
It is, and I always like my new favorite catchphrase is to say, "Chase the pour, not the proof." You know,
Nice.
chase the pour. You know, and when you find what you like, enjoy it. Just enjoy
I did
it.
notice you all have found your mash bill.
Yes.
70% corn, 21% either rye or wheat, depending on what the product was, and then 9% malted barley. So through a lot of exhaustive research, that is where your master distiller has decided that's where Green River is going to be located.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to try it and see how correct they are. So without further ado, we are going to try this barrel proof.
Absolutely.
And what we will do is we'll pour this and we'll let you describe to the viewers what you think, we'll smell. I'll give my opinion as well, but what makes this product so unique to you?
Wow. Well, first of all, I love our standard high rye mash bill. And I say high rye, when we laid it down, it was considered high at 21%.
Sure.
And now, we're seeing higher proofs, but it's still considered high rye.
Right.
And I love it. I think it's just a very well balanced, full of sweetness, and yet you've got a nice underlying tone of spice on it. So we took it with the full proof and we just upped the game a little bit. And now you get it at 117.3.
Well, the nose is spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular.
It does not nose like it's at 117
No.
proof. Quite frankly, it's
Smelling it, I would think maybe it's like, 95, maybe 100, something like
yeah,
that.
I always put it in the 100, 110 range in that.
Which is right in this guy's sweet
Yeah.
spot. So let's give it a little. Let's see. There's some nice
Everything that we do
legs.
is non-chill filtered, so you get some
Nice.
really nice legs on it. We're leaving the good fatty acids in that bourbon so that you get a better mouthfeel on
Sure.
it, and your flavor lingers. And I think that's
So
important.
a nice finish.
Yeah, very nice
well,
finish.
Let's give it a taste. One thing that's very important to me, Caryn, great lip tingle. I absolutely love it,
Yeah.
especially on that first taste. You get a little bit of, it's like you're flashing back to the 1800s for medicinal bourbon, and you're getting ready to get some dental work done, and they give you a little bit of whiskey. But then it goes into a very smooth, nice taste.
It is just full of flavor. You get obviously you're at 117 proof, so you do get more, I say heat, but it's in the form of
good heat.
Yeah, it's very balanced heat. It's not sharp. It doesn't hurt. It just gives you a lot of flavor on it.
Get a nice hug right about here, which I love.
Yeah.
The beauty of this product and of your distillery and of people that are on the bourbon trail, when people come in to do an experience and they're coming through Kentucky, this is something that is quintessential Kentucky.
It is.
Not just the product, but the tourism, all the people being kind and generous, and all the kind of things that make going to a bourbon distillery such a unique and hospitable experience.
It is. We just want people to embrace what we know and love. And I think if you can get that across to the people that are coming in, then they take that back with them and they have a different appreciation of it. Whether you drink bourbon or not, if you could appreciate the history and the amount of work and really the unknown that goes into making it.
And that it's a uniquely American product.
Absolutely.
You know, and with the history that goes with it. So what we're going to do, we're going to lift our glasses and we're going to do a toast.
Yeah.
To Green River Distillery,
Yes.
to the Fraziers, the starting point of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, and to anybody out there who is coming to experience Kentucky and bourbon, please go to Owensboro in Daviess County. And when you're there, make sure you stop at Green River because you will not be disappointed.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being a part of this,
Thank
Caryn,
you.
and cheers. Let's
Cheers.
have another sip here.
Thank you for having me.